Oh, Harley, why'd you have to do me like that? Nobody wanted this. Why'd you have to come in here and ruin everything? Oh, Harles. Joker 2, Folly a Deuce at this point, starts off 2 years later after he's been locked up for a bit. He's locked in there with Harley Quinzel. She goes by Lee, or Harley Quinn as most people know her. She's supposed to be crazy, and she seems pretty crazy. Well, since it's a spoilers, she lied. She's in there on some bullshit. She actually checked herself in. She doesn't need to be there at all. She just went in there to kind of actually mess with Arthur. And they continue on with that, and there's a bunch of scenes where, like, once you get that later on in the movie, it's like you didn't need to be there at all. So they flip it to, instead of Joker messing with Harley, well, she gets to mess with him a little bit. And maybe she's pregnant or some bullshit, but it's all, a lot of this could all be in his mind. It's ridiculous. It's like, is he the Joker? Is he Arthur? When they go to this trial that they do, which one is he? And then he's like, oh, you know what? I'm one and the same, which is kind of what happens. It's like you see the progression in the first movie. He becomes the Joker. The Joker is still him. It's just that anger that gets let out in him. But it's like, oh, well, they kind of go with the crazy defense. Well, through that, he tries to, they're reasoning through it here and there, and there's a bunch of musical numbers that, he's still crazy. There's a bunch of craziness going on, sorta, but it's like, man, every time a musical came on, it's like it kind of took me out of the movie. So I don't know, I feel like as ridiculous as I feel watching the movie as I feel recording this with these glasses that I found on. And so yeah, that's how I feel about the musical part of it. But they can't decide, like, if he actually sparked a movement. If not, is he crazy? Is he not crazy? Is there a force behind him? Is there that? And they don't really touch too much on it. It's kind of basically in Arkham, and then the courtroom, and then like these musical number scenes in between that get I'm gonna kind of jumble stuff up, in my opinion. I don't think it works. I think they actually basically reverse the story of the first one, because in the first one he's breaking as a person, and then he gets the breaking point, and then he fully on breaks, and he breaks on live TV, and he's like this mass. Well, and they don't know that he's murdered a bunch of people quite yet in the first one, but obviously by the end I think he kills like 6 people in the first one. And yeah, it just continues on from there. He eventually becomes his own lawyer. Like, he fires his lawyer, and then he comes out being ridiculous, like over the top lawyer. He has a couple scenes in his head that the musical part starts, and then he gets thrown under the bus by the little guy that he saved in the first one. It's like he didn't realize, by not making fun of this guy, that he was actually making fun of the guy, and the guy didn't like it, even though he thought he was being good. And that's like kind of the only hard-hitting part of the movie. You're like, oh damn, man, like he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get society. He doesn't understand. And sure, but it's still, they're trying to discuss whether he's two people. Well, by the end of the movie, he basically just admits, he's like, no, I'm the Joker. Me and the Joker are one and the same, which kind of undoes the little bit of mystery that they've been building the whole time. And then he escapes for like half a minute, gets caught, thrown back in, and then a dude straight up stabs him. Just kills him, and then starts carving a smile onto his face, just for like a Joker reference at all. And this is a quick spoiler review, but what I kind of wanted to say about it is, I don't think Todd Phillips wanted to even do a sequel. I think that they offered him enough money, and he wanted to do a musical, and then he had to convert whatever musical he had an idea of into this film, or started to change it into that. And there's just so much money on the line. It's like, of course I'm going to do this, but his second sequel that he's ever done before this was, he did Hangover, and then he did Hangover 2, and that one didn't do anywhere as well. And then I don't know if he did 3 and 4, but if you look at his filmography, he doesn't seem one that likes to do sequels. And from what I understand, he doesn't really write scripts. So it doesn't seem like he was kind of on board. My idea, or my thinking of it, is they just offered him enough money and he went for it. And what sucks is it kind of taints the idea of the first movie by a lot. It's basically the same movie. And if you look at the Hangover movies, he basically did the same movie again, just in a slightly different way. He kind of does that here. He does this. It's basically the same goddamn movie, just with the ending, instead of him kind of winning, well, he loses enough to where he dies. So I don't know how to really feel about that, other than I think I didn't like it. Actually, I know I didn't like it. Most of the people I was at the theater with did not like it. If you saw my earlier review of the non-spoiler one, most people I went with did not like it. But if you guys go and see it and you have a different opinion, I would like to hear why. Because this thing is getting destroyed across the board. I don't see why it was ever made. I think the general consensus before it was even being made, even before it was announced, was people were like, why? Why make a second one? And then they made a second one, and it sucks that it kind of destroys the first one. It's like, that's where this ends up? Well, if I were to ever show this to somebody else, I'd be like, there's no Joker 2. Don't even worry about it. There's no second movie. He gets caught. Don't worry about it. But anyways, if you guys watch this, hit like, subscribe. I'm going to start doing more videos. Sorry for the glasses. I found them. I thought they were kind of funny and appropriate for this video. But you guys have a good one. Peace.